So let's get over to the latest Artie saga. Artie still arguing with people about his appearance on the Joe Buck show.
Well, in my defense here, okay, you're going to play me on Michael Irvin, I think. And
you went on that show?
Michael Irvin contacted me and asked me to do his show in Dallas, okay?
Now, what kind of show does he have in Dallas?
He has a radio show in Dallas. I think it's on middays. He has a co-host. Michael Irvin is a legend in Dallas. He was on the Cowboy dynasty of the 90s, great wide receiver, Hall of Famer, and they gave him a radio show in Dallas. It's just like a sports show on I think it's on ESPN Radio. Actually.
Now, why were you under the impression he was going to apologize for things he had said?
Because we talked on the phone first.
Oh.
And he said, listen, when I said those things on the air that we played the other day about him saying no one should hire Artie for nutching, he said, I did not know that Joe Buck and the producer had said to you, look, you know, if the show gets boring, give it some energy and do what you do.
Right.
I didn't know that. So I just want to, you know, go on the air with you and say, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. And I said, well, you know, and I want to say maybe I'm sorry for some of the things I said to you, and we'll talk it out. That's what was said.
Okay. But that never happened, did
You
it?
always get misled in these pre-interviews.
Well, I'm a misleader, too, Robin.
Right.
But
everyone was misleading everyone else.
Yeah, and so I'll take some blame, but this is what happened.
All right, so here's Artie on the Michael Irvin show in Dallas, still arguing about his appearance on the Joe Buck show.
I want to ask Michael, because I'm not Eminem or in a rap group, what does nushing mean?
It's a takeoff from no... You know, the curse word up in there, the essay.
Oh, right.
It's to play together with it, Artie.
Oh, nutching.
No whatsoever. So you could take it and run with it as much as you run.
No, I can't run, otherwise I would have been on the Cowboys.
All right, Artie starting out with a little joke.
Okay.
Just a little one.
A little one. And then
nutching.
Moving on.
Am I allowed to curse?
No.
Well,
absolutely not.
That's all that someone would have had to tell me at the Joe Buck show, and I would have listened to them. It's HBO, so I cursed. And I'm sorry if I offended you, Michael. I know you always act appropriately, and I'm sorry if I offended you.
Well, that's a good little slight in there, Artie. Now, that I always act appropriately. Now, I don't want to get into this thing.
I don't want to get into it either, but, Michael, just let me say something.
I'm talking about the mudslinging of me acting appropriately or you acting inappropriately now. But I want to talk, because I was just reading that you robbed banks and everything. No,
I never robbed a bank. I'll sue your butt. Don't say that. I never robbed no bank.
On the paper here, Artie.
No. Well, you got the wrong paper, brother.
Okay, you got to sue the person that wrote it.
I'm reading a piece of paper here that you punched out a on coke once. Is that right?
No, I never did that.
Okay, so
I never hit any ladies, Artie.
Okay, well then we're both wrong. How's that sound?
All right.
Wow.
On the attack.
Sounds like fun.
Oh, it was fun, Robin.
On the attack again. There we go.
Michael, listen, I know how to read an audience. They were laughing like crazy, and it wasn't just because of uncomfortableness. It was because what I was saying was funny. It was funny in a vulgar way, the way Richard Pryor was, the way George Carlin was.
Richard Pryor and those guys were vulgar on their own show.
No, they weren't, Michael. No, they weren't. Go on YouTube. You will see Richard Pryor vulgar on a lot of shows. George Carlin
guys brought him on for that, and the host brought him on for that.
Well, why did they bring me on? They know what I do. What did they do? What did he get? Mary Poppins?
Artie, hang on a second. Artie, you know the type of person Joe Buck is.
Sure, I'm a fan of his.
Classy guy. He's a classy guy. He's a real professional.
And I'm not. I'm not a classy guy? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying you're not a classy guy, but I wouldn't say that it was a classy moment for you. That's all I was saying.
I'm saying it was a classy moment for me. You know why? Because it helped my comedy career, and it's going to feed my kids.
Okay, now there's a difference between a classic moment and
What kids are you talking about?
Like what?
I have an illegitimate kid in Vegas.
No. Feed your kids.
Wow. What kids? I didn't know
out of your mind.
kids.
What kids do you have?
There's a couple.
Do you have children?
No,
and you haven't told us?
Well,
that's the next book?
Book 2.
All right. I love that. You got caught up in it. It sounded good.
I was getting mad.
Right.
I was getting mad.
I'm so mad you can feed some kids.
I'll feed any kid you want. You got a kid, I'll feed your cat.
Moment.
I don't care. Whichever classic and classy is fine with me because it all makes me money, and I'm an American and I'm looking to make money just like you. I want to feed my kids. Joe Buck's not hurt. He's going to keep making money. His family's fine. My buddy was sitting.
Did you see the report on his show in the paper the next day? Did it sound like that didn't hurt him at all?
Well, listen,
did you
publicity, all publicity is good publicity. Joe, everyone's talking about Joe Buck Live now, and I said to
Artie, why don't Joe Buck go out and do something crazy like slap a woman and get some good publicity in? That's not true, Artie. It sounds like something you heard in a movie, but it's not the reality. It sounds good to restate, but it's not real, Artie.
So you're comparing what I did on the Joe Buck show to slapping a woman, Michael? I mean, what are you talking about? We had fun. It was a guy.
Joe, listen up, Artie. Listen up.
Go ahead, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Oh, hold on now. Hold on.
Go ahead.
I love Joe, but I'm not Joe.
I love Joe, and I know you're not. And I'm getting mad and I'm getting loud with you because you're not here. So go ahead.
I got it. Okay.
There you go. Smart. Yeah. Don't be getting all loud like this when Michael Irvin's
He's
around.
a big guy.
Yeah.
Now, if you go on that show, on Joe Buck's show,
right,
and you're sitting there with those other guys, and you say something that and no one really laughs, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like I better say something funny the next time, because it's how I earn a living.
So you keep going for it. You come up with something more crazy, or come up with something more crazy to say.
Of course, Michael. That's what I do for a living. If you dropped a pass, Mike, what would you do the next time? Really concentrate on catching the next one. That's what I do. I tell jokes. If one didn't do well, okay, I tell a better one.
Yeah, all right, but if I drop a pass and the next play is 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
It's not about, I'm not going crazy. Throw me the ball. I'm going to say, let's hand the ball to Emmett, because right now we're talking about getting a first down because I'm part of a team. And whether you know it or not, when you were on the Joe Buck show the other day, they were hoping that you would be part of a team.
Well, okay, Michael, here's the difference. On 3rd and 1, they would have Troy Aikman would have handed it off to Emmitt Smith, and you would have got the first down. There was no Emmitt Smith up there, brother. I didn't have an Emmitt Smith. I was the only superstar up there. Not the only superstar, but the only guy I think who could have gotten something out of the audience.
They see Joe Buck as a superstar. That's why they're paying him the millions.
Okay, and I think Joe Buck is a superstar, but when it comes, that was the comedy segment. You guys did the football segment. I was doing the comedy segment.
Wow.
Woohoo. On fire.
I was ready, man.
Yep. The day never ends for Artie.
You know, he's like a lawyer for himself. 3rd
and 1. I love when he goes, hey, if it's 3rd and 1, I ain't going, give me the ball. I'm like, yeah, Emmitt Smith. Joe Buck ain't Emmitt Smith, man.
Well, listen, Joe Buck kept passing the ball to you.
He did. Exactly. You're exactly
right. It was like a hot potato, and you were the only one who would grab it.
And I took it.
I have to hear this Michael Irvin show. I'm going to fly out to Dallas and tune in.
I don't think it's always this good.
Yeah, this was pretty good.
I was in the audience for this, and one of the things I wanted to say to you was that
this is Michael Irvin's partner.
His co-host.
His co-host.
Laughter, Artie, is not necessarily acceptance. And I was in that audience.
What did he say?
He said, Artie, laughter is not necessarily acceptance.
Well, it is in your business.
They were, as you laugh, I'm sure you don't accept that.
That's just, I love when people say pretentious things like that, but go ahead.
Okay, fine. I was in
laughter isn't acceptance, Artie.
Artie, if you strip down naked on 42nd Street, I would laugh.
Guess what? That's not what I did, dude. And to compare what I did to stripping down naked on 42nd Street makes you sound like an idiot. But go ahead.
All right, fine. That's fine. But while I'm sounding like an idiot,
yeah, and you'll continue to. Go ahead.
Where you do things and how you do them is relevant to what's going on here.
So on an HBO sports show where guys are talking sports on HBO, it's not right to say a few curse words. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
The curse words are not bad.
Did I say anything?
What was bad about it? Taking over the Joe Buck show? Somebody had to. Somebody had to.
Artie, we're not saying it was bad. We're discussing our opinions here. You have
your
opinion. I have my opinion.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is, let me tell you, I was in the audience. I'm
happy for you. You must have been. Were you asleep during the Brett Favre segment?
No, I got a free ticket. That's the only reason I would have been.
Everyone got a free ticket. It's television. But go ahead.
Hold on. Just let me tell you, I was in the audience, and I was sitting actually right next to the floor director.
Were you in the audience?
Excuse me?
Were you in the audience? You haven't said that yet.
Yeah, and I was sitting next to the floor director, who was going out of his mind.
The FD?
How do we fix this? What can we do?
Nothing. You know how you fix it? Get rid of Joe Buck and the other two guys and let me talk.
Hold on, Artie, let me just say a couple of things here, and then you can comment on them.
I listen to Michael Irvin because he can kick my ass. I'm pretty sure I can beat you up, but maybe not.
Artie, I'd be glad to give you an opportunity.
Why don't we do that for money? Let's all make cash out of this.
Stop it. You're the wrong guy.
Listen.
What is up with the white people?
Well, he said something to me that aggravated me. Laughter is not exactly acceptance. Howard's been listening to crap like that for years, and it's pretentious bores who think they know what acceptance and laughter is.
But now, Artie, because why is that funny to you now? Because let me tell you what.
It was a fake laugh. It was a fake laugh, Michael.
All right. Well, there is Artie. After he gets off of the air.
It's like a prize fight in there.
After he gets off the air, he
goes into his debate mode.
The boy is not out of energy. He debates Michael Irvin and others on his appearance.
Well, it's always tough. You always have to consult a thesaurus before you debate Michael Irvin.
Actually, Michael Irvin...
no,
he
was in bed.
No, I know. Listen,
he was in bed.
He's got his point. And Howard, you made an excellent point, too. They didn't know I was going to go that far. Right. And I probably did go a little too far, but they didn't tell me not to. It's HBO. It was a lack of communication.
Right.
And listen, I know this because someone called me who knows this and said that because of us playing it here, I guess, the repeats on that show are through the roof.
There you go.
With ratings. So I mean,
they're replaying your appearance on Joe Buck on HBO?
Constantly.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
They didn't, ban it? Or...
No.
Right,
Did
it was
they
so
bleep
horrible they had to take it off.
I saw one that wasn't bleep, but it was after midnight. So a lot of times Comedy Central does that, too.
It depends on the day part.
Right. But listen, we ended nicely. Michael Irvin... I made a joke on the show on Joe Buck that I lost a lot of money on Michael Irvin in the 90s, and that's the truth. And he laughed at that, and he's a good guy.
Did you read,
laughter is not accepted.
Did you read they're spinning off a channel just based on your appearance, that it's just going to be your show over and over again with Joe Buck?
Listen.
A whole channel.
The Artie channel.
The Artie channel.
I got to feed my kids.
Now, what was that about?
What is that?
I was out of my mind, and I was trying to say I'm trying to make a living. And who knows, I might have a kid. I might have a couple of kids.
Well, Dan the Song Parody Man's almost like one of your kids.
There's a few people like that.
Yeah, High Pitch Eric, Dan the Song Parody Man, Captain Janks.
Yeah, Janks. Oh, the Janks stuff. Howard, one day when there's time, I'll give you the whole Janks story about that benefit.
Yeah, that's some
I got to
story.
tell you what that ended up costing me. But
what do you mean? Why did the Captain Banks...
You got a couple of minutes for this?
Captain Janks benefit cost you money?
You got a couple of minutes for this? All right. Day of the Captain Janks benefit, all right?
Go ahead.
The night before, I had taped my DVD. An incredible, stressful week for me, all right?
Okay.
So I taped my DVD. The next day, I got to wake up. I'm with my girlfriend and my buddy Timmy, who's my road manager. Now, the Janks benefit was up by Albany. Now, that's my fault because I decided I couldn't wait for them to pick a place. I picked a place. I said, look, I got a gig in Albany at my buddy's club. I'll give you whatever I make that night, okay? But I had to rush to get a helicopter. Helicopter Mike took me up there because I didn't have time after the DVD. I don't want to wake up and get a plane and drive. So the helicopter cost me $1,500, all right?
Okay.
All right, so that's my fault. I rushed there because I'm late for the helicopter. I get to the park.
A helicopter ride to Albany is $1,500 round trip?
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
all right, go ahead.
Okay, so... and that's with a break, I think.
Right.
So I get to the Linden Airport, New Jersey, and I park my car. It's empty. I get in the helicopter, and I go and do the benefit. Now, that night, Helicopter Mike says to me, listen, what time's the late show? I go, 10 o'clock. He goes, listen, Barack Obama is coming into New York tonight. He goes, there's a no-fly zone around New York City, which means if we're in the air at 12:01 within 20 miles of Manhattan, we will be shot down. Wow. Okay? So I said, what does that mean? He goes, listen, dude, what that means is if you're not off stage by 11:15 and in the car and in the helicopter, we can't go. Because we'll be shot down. So I said, okay.
Don't you think that'd be good publicity for your book if you were shot down?
That's one way to go.
I think my kids would be fed.
Right.
So, all right. So now it's turning into a craziness.
Right.
So, of course, I can't. I got to give the people a show, man.
Right.
You know. So I do my full time. I run into the car. I get into the car. And Mike says, we can't make it, dude. And the weather's bad. We just can't do it.
Right.
So I say, I don't want to stay up here. It's in Middletown, New York. I was with my girlfriend. I say to the limo guy, how much to drive me to Hoboken? And he goes, $400. I go, I'll give you $600 if you get me there as soon as you can. Helicopter Mike.
Why do you have to do that?
Just because he was a good guy and he had kids. So he was a real nice guy.
The guy tells him $400, you got to put it up to $600.
Yeah, why do you? You're the worst negotiator.
I used to work for tips.
How much is that? $300. All right, I'll give you $700.
I used to work for tips, and it's like, whatever.
Are you doing it to impress your new girlfriend? Sometimes I worry that maybe you're...
She didn't even hear the conversation.
She didn't hear it. This was private between you and the guy.
Because I also bought blow from the guy.
All right,
but anyway, that's a lie.
All right, so what's about
okay. So now,
yeah.
Helicopter Mike and Joe the cop, they can't come with me because they have to get the helicopter in the morning. It's parked up there.
Right.
So I have to get them a hotel room.
Right.
Okay. So now I get them a hotel room at a Marriott nearby. I get them each a room, $300 a night each. Okay.
Right.
So now we're up to $600 for the limo, $600 for their hotel, $1,500 for the helicopter, right?
You're already about $3,500 in the hole.
Plus, I gave Jenks what I would have made that night, which was $10,000.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
All right. Now, we drive home. He gets me to Hoboken. We sleep. I get up. I get my other buddy with a town car to take me to Linden Airport to get my car.
Right.
Someone backed into my car. Okay? My brand new Mercedes. Someone backed into it. Okay? Like and just left like a hit and run thing. Destroyed the back, Howard. Destroyed the back.
It's awful.
Destroyed the back. $8,000 worth of
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
$8,000. So the insurance company's dealing with it now. It's in the shop. I have a rental car for 3 weeks right now. But, you know, my deductible is whatever. I got to pay the deductible.
It's the Captain Jenks Black Cloud. You're sucked into the vortex.
So the Jenks benefit is going to end up, if you count the 10 G's, it's probably going to cost me about $20,000.
Quite a sport.
And Helicopter Mike, he's a warrior, man. That guy was in the war. He was in the first Iraq War. He shot Old Dirty Bastard in a shootout when he was a cop. He's got cop stories that would blow your head away.
All right.
But he said, look, Art, if you really want me to try, we would have been shot down. What a way to go if we got shot down because Barack was
all right. Well, there's Artie's saga. It goes on and on and on.
You're welcome, Jenks.
Keep reaching out there, Artie.
Right. Keep helping everyone. All right. Well, there you go. And there's Artie being shot down by Barack Obama.
Not by his people.
By Barack's people.
A benefit for Captain Jenks was shot down.
So that's the Jenks benefit.
Very good. But at this, his character. I don't know what he calls this character. What's the guy's name on inside the actor's studio?
That's James Lipton.
So maybe he's James Shitton or something. I don't know. I'm sure it's something gross like that, you know, which would always make people laugh. I don't know what his name is on that show.
Now, Miss Lane, let's discuss one of God's greatest gifts that has been bestowed upon you. To most people, an anal cavity is simply used to excrete fecal matter. But to you, Miss Lane,
it's an innie.
An anal cavity is a magical door leading to heavenly treasures, which can only be found by the luckiest of penile explorers. In other words, let's talk anal. Now, Miss Lane, tell us about your first rectal deflowering.
Like I said, it was with my boyfriend who was just a Greek guy and all about the anal. And once I've learned how to take it, then you learn how to come from it. And I can come better from my asshole than I can come from my pussy. So, I love you. I'm one with my butt. So, therefore, like, if I'm with a guy and he's not pleasing me the way that I want to be pleased, I just tell him to stick it in my ass.
Now, are you a proponent of assgasms?
I love it. I come harder from my asshole than I do my pussy, and I cannot stress that enough. Once you're one with the butt, it is a phenomenal thing. But just know, guys, you could really hurt a girl. So just know, talk to your partner. That's all you have to do.
I find it hard to hurt a girl doing anything. I only pray that something would hurt a girl once in a while.
Hurt a girl? What, am I going to hit her with a hammer?
A couple other clips just to get your appetite whetted for this big event tonight.
Are there different household objects that you've tried to put in the record?
I have fucked, furniture before.
What kind of furniture?
I have a spatula.
In your rectal cavity?
In my ass, yeah.
Ooh.
We were drunk. It's my girlfriend's. Alcohol always seems to play a great part in anal for some reason. Not on film, though, but in your personal life. But
and how did a spatula feel in your ass?
It's fun. We're just being silly. A couple of the girls at the house, we come over and make a dinner and have a couple of cocktails in us.
Silly girls.
I mean, a spatula is a big thing. I don't even know. I can't even imagine. I'm trying to... Does she mean the handle or the actual
I don't know. The flat part that's wide? I can't imagine.
That's the whole point of a spatula.
A spatula?
George, you're a gay man. I mean, could you take a spatula in your ass? I'm talking about the wide...
I can't even imagine it.
George, you told me you took a ladle once.
Is that true? Did you tell Artie that? No.
When I came out to George on that day, he told me he took a ladle.
Right.
I think you may be turning gay, too, when you're losing weight. I see certain things about you.
What does that mean? Seriously, because I'll get fat in 2 seconds.
So are you eating a lot over there, George? Or
He had. Well, I'm so proud of him because earlier he was eating exactly what I was eating. I'm eating a fruit salad. But now there is this bowl just glistening with syrup over a pile of pancakes.
Now, Howard, listen.
That's carbo.
I know, George. I eat carbohydrates. I'm a guy. But I get from the same healthy place you do. These are healthy pancakes.
Right, but they're dripping in syrup.
Sugar-free syrup.
Is it?
Oh. Sugar-free syrup. I get it from the same. And this entire drink here, which is sort of like Hawaiian Punch. Yeah. Just not nearly as good tasting.
Right.
This entire thing is 15 calories.
Wow.
Energy Kitchen. They make light pancakes.
And sugar-free.
And sugar-free syrup.
Yeah, but sugar-free, can't that also be like fructose or something like that?
Listen, dude, whatever I'm doing's working.
It's
working. You know what? I got a system. I took your advice. I got an agenda. I'm seeing my shrink today. I'm up to 3 times a week with the shrink.
Right.
And are you walking?
I walk to the shrink. I actually look forward to seeing the guy.
Right.
And afterwards, I play hoops. I play 3-on-3 basketball.
And it seems to be working.
Yeah, and in the morning, I'm sorry, George, I could have some fruit.
No, don't be sorry. I see the will.
And you love your pancakes still, right? You're not giving up your pancakes?
Well, good.
Everybody knows.
That's good.
All right, we're going to take a... You already had eggs, bacon, and toast this morning, though, the guys are telling me. Is that true?
Listen.
What is the
Is this your lunch?
there?
This is the lunch.
Oh, this is lunch. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then afterwards, when I eat, I'll go to the shrink. I'll play some hoops. I come home and I have like some grilled chicken, some broccoli rabe. My sister makes great broccoli rabe. She brings me some broccoli rabe, and I have it with grilled chicken. And I go to sleep. I don't eat after 6 o'clock. I have nothing.
Right. Well, is it like you can eat anything you want before?
Well, it's not anything I want. I'd rather have a cheeseburger or pizza, but I eat grilled chicken with broccoli rabe.
And with the shrink, you're not eating during that session?
Me and my shrink both have a pizza while we're talking.
A whole pizza.
He's got his full mouth. He goes, so what about your father?
All right, thank you.
But the important
thing is... Enjoy your pancakes, and George, I'm glad you're monitoring what he's eating.
We see the evidence. I mean, I see... I haven't seen him in a few months, and I see him much... I wouldn't use the term slim, but less heavy.
But what's gay about me? You said I look gay since I got thin. What does that mean?
Well, I see the will and the determination to lose.
To suck cock?
No, to lose weight.
Yeah.
And to become attractive.
Get the broads.
All right, guys, we're going to get right over to Steve Langford last night. The reason I remember that is Jimmy Fallon wrote me an email.
Oh, he did?
And he said, you tell Artie killed on my show, and please thank him for me again.
Wonderful.
And in fact, I heard a rumor that Artie was such a success on the Jimmy Fallon show last night, they wouldn't let him leave. He was playing ping pong with Susan Sarandon on the show.
What?
This was the craziest thing of all time. Honestly, just one of those odd things that happens in show business. So I get there, and the segment producer comes to my dressing room, and he's going over everything I talked about to talk about on the show. And he goes, there's a really hot chick coming out after you who's on Maxim, who knows Beth, by the way. She was on G4. And she's still on G4. She hosts something called Attack of the Show.
Yeah. Oh, I know that girl.
Olivia Munn. Very beautiful.
Mund?
Olivia Munn. M-U-N-N.
Oh, not like Ronnie Mund.
No, M-U-N-N.
All right, Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn, and she mentioned that she knew Beth and how sweet she was, so I guess she was from G4. So she's coming out next, and why don't you stick around? It's a hot chick. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. And then
sure, why not?
And then we have an Asian chef that's going to cook, so you should stick around and eat.
For that, too.
So I said, that's great. So,
eating is your thing.
But here's the thing. Olivia Munn is really into ping pong. And you know how, like, they'll do anything a hot chick wants to do on a show?
Right,
you know
right.
I mean?
So they got a ping pong table.
Right. So...
because everyone wants to watch her play ping pong if she's naked.
Well, yeah, she had a hot dress on me. Okay. She looked good.
Good.
So Olivia Munn wants to play ping pong, but there's a twist. She wants to play with a very special guest who's her partner and friend. And it'll be you and Jimmy against those two. And I said, okay, well, who's the guest? And the guy goes, Susan Sarandon.
How is she partners in what?
In ping pong.
They play ping pong.
They want to play ping pong like doubles.
Olivia Munn and Susan Sarandon know each other in real life.
Yes.
And they play ping pong against people.
Yeah, Susan Sarandon started, I figured out what this was. Right. Susan Sarandon started a ping pong bar downtown called Spin.
Okay.
And she wanted to promote it. It actually sounds like a fun time, and she was like inviting me down there. It was hilarious. Lisa G has a lot of it on tape.
Are you a good ping pong player?
I'm not bad. I can handle myself, you know. I mean, I got good hand-eye coordination. That's all I've ever had, you know. So, and I can play ping pong.
That's all you have? Is good hand-eye coordination?
That's it, and some people think good bone structure.
All right.
So, I'm like, what? So I'm thinking it's a bit. I'm like, Susan Sarandon's not here. What is it, like some guy dressed up like Susan Sarandon? He goes, no, Susan Sarandon's going to come out. I'm like, so I still don't believe it.
Right.
So, we do the whole show, you know. The interview went great. Jimmy's very good at that. He does a good job, and we had fun.
He's a good ping pong player or a good host?
He's he's a better host than a ping pong player. I'll tell you what pissed me off. My competitive nature kicked in. I'll tell you what happened. I started getting mad.
You were losing.
So, here's what happened.
You're getting beat by girls?
They said you're going to play to 3. I'm like, okay, fine. So Jimmy and I had a great interview. It was a lot of fun. The hot chick came out. She was hot and great. And me and Jimmy, I guess our interview went long. Right. So I think they almost had to bump the David Chang guy who was the chef. Yeah. So they bring out a ping pong table, and Olivia Munn says, let's play ping pong. So they're going to go play ping pong. And she goes, oh, but I want to bring a partner out. So it'll be you and Artie against me and this partner. So I walk over. And Susan Sarandon walks out.
Wow.
And,
big deal, yeah.
She starts saying how she's got this bar and stuff. So now we're going to play to 3. Okay. It's me and Jimmy against these 2 broads.
Right. I get it.
Now I want to win.
Sure, you know what I mean? Why not?
I don't want to look like an idiot.
Right.
So as a joke, this is one of these things, and as a joke, they gave Jimmy a paddle that was like 4 times less the size of a regular ping pong paddle.
What the hell?
And I'm like, well, that's a horrible disadvantage. Right. You know, I mean, like, it was like almost like he was playing with his hand or something.
Why would they do that?
And I'm like, let's kill Susan Sarandon and this chick. Let's not look like idiots.
But at that point, don't you take it like, well, obviously, this is a goof. This isn't real.
Yeah, but still, I wanted to win. I don't know. I can't tell you, Robin, what it's like.
I understand.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So now we start playing. So Susan Sarandon has the first serve, okay? So she serves to me. I hit it back. We hit it back once. Then I have a volley going. The first time it gets to Jimmy, because he got this little paddle. He can't hit the fucking thing.
Man, that's not interesting.
And it's, now we're down 1-0. So then it's our serve. And I said, well, let me serve, because I have the big paddle. And I have to serve to Susan Sarandon.
Right.
And you know how you have to say, like in volleyball, you say one serving nothing or something.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You're keeping score now.
I said scumbag serving Oscar winner.
That's funny.
I got to laugh. So I served to her. We have another volley. I hit more, and we get a point. Now it's 1-1.
Because
you have
Jimmy
a regular paddle.
Jimmy doesn't paddle. He's got this little thing.
You're playing both of them.
And the 2 broads have a paddle. And Susan Sarandon now starts mocking me, like, are you high?
Really?
Trashing you.
Yeah, well, like, now there's trash talk going on.
She knows of your reputation, I think.
No, she didn't know who I was, but she was just, I looked high, I guess.
Right.
So,
she can just tell.
You always look high.
I said, first of all, yes, and second of all, I just can't believe you're here.
Yeah,
and she goes, neither can I. So then we serve again, and again, we have a nice volley going, gets to Jimmy because of the paddle. He can't fucking it. Now we're down 2-1. I serve again. Boom, boom, boom. We lose 3-4.
Oh, my God.
Now,
I'm
telling you, this sounds so stupid, but I was mad.
Right.
I was mad about it.
What did you do? Did you erupt?
I didn't erupt. I was like,
you didn't throw a water bottle at Susan Sarandon, did you?
No, I didn't. But
but you were angry.
But it was very interesting to meet her. She was very nice. She said hi to you.
Oh, good.
And
well, we've had her husband.
How did she look like in real life, Artie?
Yeah, how'd she look?
I got to tell you, man, she looks fantastic. She's so sexy. Like she's
very. Did you ever hit the ball so hard to hit her in the tits?
Well, here's what happened. I hit it. Because all I can think about is the movie Atlantic City when she's rubbing lemons on her tits.
Yeah.
Like I almost brought that up.
You should have. You should have said, you know what? I can't play this. I'm thinking about you rubbing lemons on your tits. No offense, honey. I didn't care about the movie. I cared about your tits.
And then she said, and it's odd when you know so much about a person, because I had a very nice conversation with her at the end, and she said, you should come down because a lot of comedians come down. This comedian I know plays all the time, and you can MC a night and everything. And she
MC
said,
a night of ping pong?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They
take their ping pong seriously there?
They do. It actually sounds like kind of fun, but I don't know what you get paid for that. But she said we're going to have a Rocky Horror Picture Show night.
I got a feeling she wants you to come down there for free.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, and when she says we're going to have a Rocky Horror Picture Show night, you go like, wow, well, are you going to do your part in that? You know, because you're in it, you know. And she's like, well, no, I can't really watch myself back then. It's hard, and because I'm older now. And I said, and I wasn't even kidding. She looked absolutely fantastic. Like she's an older woman who you would want to have sex with.
What does she wear when she goes on there? Does she wear something sexy?
She had on a little black T-shirt and jeans.
And no bra, I bet.
She's got to wear a bra.
Yeah. She
She's
loves
playing
it.
ping pong.
She loves it.
Sports bra.
She loves showing those boobs.
But it was difficult because the other girl, Olivia Munn, is gorgeous, and she was in a little white mini dress.
Mini dress.
And you still couldn't beat them.
Well, it was a little distracting. Listen, Jimmy clearly can play ping pong. He was good, but he didn't have a paddle. And, you know, so it was a lot of fun. We had a blast, but it was just weird. It was one of those surreal things. Like,
well, it sounds like a fun night for you.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're on a real roll.
And Jimmy was real appreciative. That's great.
But then Susan Sarandon said something very funny. She absolutely has no idea who I am, but she said, let's all go to spin. We're going, her and the hot chick, and I was with my girlfriend. Yeah. And they said, well, come on, let's go out. We're all going to spin. We're going to the ping pong club. Wow. And
you were really
this is after the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm like, I said, you know what? I have an early radio show. I get up at 6 a.m.
Hear this report. This is Shirley did a report and interviewed Tracy. You know Tracy, who called Grillo a douche?
Yes.
Well, he interviewed Tracy, and Tracy evidently was disgusted with Benji because of did you know this, Benji, that she's disgusted with you because of your holiday date?
I didn't hear the news report, but yesterday, she was really angry at me. Wow. And
she said she doesn't even want to, like, see you anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of women had a negative reaction.
You know, and I get right down to it. I wasn't pleased with his behavior.
What did I do, Rob?
Rob. What did I do, Rob?
I think we could be familiar with one another.
Rob.
I just thought it was unfitting.
Well, that's what I told him. I said, you know, there's going to be ladies there and stuff. I said, you really sure you want to bring this girl?
Yeah, that wasn't one of your all-male stripper parties.
Yeah. Guys don't understand that. And I guess, like, a lot of the women objected because, like, a lot of times, like, I think it's cute. She's always, like, holding her vagina.
I really didn't see
that.
Like,
she'll bunch her dress up.
Like a 5-year-old.
She, like, kind of takes her dress and, like, pushes it up and then holds her vagina. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a man.
I really didn't see that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I loved it. You were busy doing other things.
And even Beth said to me, she thinks the girl was, like, kind of stroking your, like over your pants, but stroking your sitting at the table.
Okay, that's a fact. I'm going to tell you a great story right now.
Why is that a fact?
Because I'll tell you, Will told me the story. Will and his wife were sitting at the table, and Will said she started stroking his dick under the table, and Will looked, and Will's wife, like, punched him and got mad at him, and they had to get him going to the table.
I really don't think she was. I think she was...
You don't think you know, Benji?
Benji, you know if she did.
No, but I don't think...
Did she stroke your cock over your pants?
No. Her hand was on my leg, and she was kissing me a little bit, but she didn't...
On my leg?
My leg.
I think she was winding her watch.
I know a lot of the women seem to have the impression that she was stroking your cock.
Yeah, the women,
and women know.
The women were upset, because I didn't even realize until I went home on Monday afterwards. Like, I didn't remember Mary saying anything to me about it. And then
Tracy went berserk on the news. Listen to this. Here's Tracy.
How's it changed things for you back at work now?
If you want to ask me about Benji, ask me about Benji, Shuli, because that's what you came in here to do.
Everyone calm down. That's Tracy Millman, office manager, Stern Show. And she cannot keep quiet any longer about Benji and his date's actions at the Christmas party over the break.
I think the way he handled himself at that party was completely disrespectful. We weren't at a strip club. This was hosted by his boss and his wife. It's disrespectful to Howard. It was disrespectful to Beth. It was disrespectful to every wife that was there. You have no class. This is a girl who spent the entire night touching her vagina.
You say it like it's a bad thing. In all seriousness, it has changed a lot for Tracy interacting with Benji here at work. And now you see him in the halls here. I mean, you instantly go back to that night and the actions that went down, and you don't even want to touch anything he said.
You think I want to touch that thing? You think I want that hand anywhere near me? You think I want him anywhere near me? No. I always thought it was all but now I realize he's just really that much of a idiot.
Feel the love, everyone. Shuli Agar, Howard 100 News.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, you turned off some of the gals.
Well, that's unfortunate. We had a nice time. But
not everybody, Benji.
I half the things I've heard, everyone's like, "Oh, I didn't see that, but people told me that." And
no, I don't know. Like Beth wasn't being so judgmental, but she said she thought it was a little. She wasn't too thrilled either.
Yeah, my wife was sort of bugged about it. Look, when we walked in, here's the funny thing. When you walked in, Benji and his date were sitting at a table, like, ridiculously well-behaved. You know, sitting there and everything. And then as the night went on, she got a little nuttier. And
do you think some of the women, though, were jealous? Because Benji's girlfriend did look really in that little outfit.
I don't think they cared how... There are plenty of beautiful women at the party.
Yeah, Beth is beautiful. Nobody's mad at her.
But it was just the inappropriate behavior. It was just like... Look, we hear the show, but we didn't... This was a party for the people who work on the show and their wives. And so it wasn't about doing one of the Howard Stern afternoon stripper parties.
Right.
They thought it would be a safe environment to come and enjoy and hang out, and then all of a sudden there was a show going on.
It wasn't a sex
it was
show.
It was very because I even have pictures of you guys. Her dress is hiked all the way up and she's on your lap.
That probably happened after...
I do have pictures of that.
A lot of guys were inappropriate and like just grabbing at her and stuff.
That's true.
What?
And I didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Guys just grabbed at her?
Yeah.
Like who?
They were. I'm not gonna say names because half the names I didn't know.
Well, you can't say the name.
A lot of guys wanted to dance with her. That I did see. I didn't see anybody grab her, but I did see people dancing with her.
Grabbing at her. They were
but she jumped up on the guys too.
Well, she jumped up on Ronnie when he was dancing with her.
Right.
But that was after Ronnie had tackled her, but a million other things.
Right.
Tackled her.
But she had fun.
She seemed like she was into it. If he tackled her and then she jumped on him, it kind of sounds like she's into it.
Like, I know none of the guys were offended, but some of the women were.
I told you it was split right down the middle.
Like, I enjoyed her presence.
Robin, I absolutely love Phelan. Were you upset that he's ripping people's shirts?
No.
Okay.
He was ripping guys' shirts that he knows.
Okay.
Yeah. I found it gay, but I didn't think it was offensive.
They didn't tongue each other.
Yeah. But anyway, so
I didn't tongue her once at the party.
No?
No, she was kissing me a little bit on the neck.
Yeah. Hey, listen, dude, I wasn't really that focused.
I was walking to the bathroom a couple times, and I was laughing because I thought it was funny. You guys looked like you were practically humping by the bathroom.
Yeah, it looked sexual.
Yeah,
Benji, you have no idea what it looked like.
What Benji says happened and what everybody else saw seems to be two different things.
So I think for Benji, it was kind of like no one ever sees Benji as
right.
And suddenly he had an opportunity.
I think it was
And I think he was very proud.
Yeah. I think you were really into showing her off and showing off that you were intimate with her.
No.
And that you can get a hot chick.
I can get a hot chick. Yeah, I was proud to have her as my date.
Right. All right. Well, I'm just saying a lot of ladies were turned off to you.
Well, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, he's not sorry at all.
All right, let's go to Bill. Bill, you're on the air, and let's take a few phone calls before we run out of time. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, now, Howard, I'm the guy that called before the party telling you that Benji just didn't want to go, but wouldn't cause a rift. And I got to tell you, Tracy's absolutely freaking right. Very disrespectful, almost like vengeance, like he did it on purpose, because he knows, to bring that skank to a family, almost like a family function, was ridiculous.
Well, I don't know that she's that.
And she's not.
Of course. What else would you call a broad that's flaunting herself and good? I mean, I don't want to say just because she's with Benji, but, I mean, really.
I don't know. I just know that the guys dug her and the girls didn't.
I was sitting right next to Scott DePace when he was like, good for Benji, and his wife Pam was on his other side, and she poked him. And he said, well, I mean, you know, you don't take her home.
All right.
Yeah, you take her home.
Yeah, it was disrespectful for the other woman. That's what I'm
Beth
saying.
thought it was disrespectful. Like everyone, all the women thought the same thing.
Yeah, it was a 50-50 split.
And don't call her a skank. Just because she rode the Sybian naked doesn't make anybody a skank.
Hey,
I'm being
wait a minute,
serious.
though. And another thing, don't give High Pitch Eric any money.
Right.
Yeah, he's supposed to call in for a game today.
Yeah, I don't have a game for him anyway.
Well, good. Don't give him any money.
All right, you got it.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, why should you give him his own mother won't give him money.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking about, Liz. I said, I like when High Pitch, I go, according to the news, High Pitch's mother leaves a will, and in the will it says, I am not leaving any money to my son, High Pitch Eric.
I'm making a special, that's my intention. I want you to know I intended.
Yeah, she's saying, I'm not leaving any money to, High Pitch Eric Bleeman, or whatever his name is. And also, I'm not going to give reasons why. He knows the reasons. So I get him on the phone and go, Eric, what's the reason? He goes, I don't know any reason. He knows the reason his mom didn't leave him money.
If your mom's upset with you, you usually know why.
He knows. It was kind of BS. But you know what? I was running out of time, and I let him off the hook. But he's got to know why his mom didn't leave him any money. And that's the kind of thing you know. Oh, by the way, brilliant, great guy, but I don't know about him being at the house. And then the other one, Sal Gubernale. Oh. I like Sal a lot, but boy, oh boy, with the stuff that comes out of his mouth, particularly on the wrap-up show.
What did he say now?
Well, I mean, every day it's just whacked out stuff. And, and I got a little insight into him hearing the stories about his father. And, I mean, Sal's really wacky.
Well, even the way he observes you.
Yeah, it would be creepy. Now,
yesterday when he came in, we had the shirts off thing. He was like, Howard, you need to shave.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what guy looks at another guy?
Did he say that?
Yeah.
See, I blocked it out.
Oh, I'm telling you, it creeped me out right away.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you took your shirt off, he started evaluating how your grooming was going.
Well, I know Sal wasn't in the running for this because, I mean, think about it. We forget about this. He himself out of going to your wedding. I mean, he's an employee here, and he said such obnoxious things.
Yeah, I mean, that was the real deal. Like, if I was going to have Sal over, I know that in the back of his mind he's saying, Howard wants me to be funny. I'm going to do some weird shit.
Weird messages would he be getting from you that you weren't sending?
Yeah, Sal seems to get secret messages from me that I have nothing to do with.
And that's bad.
Yeah. I mean, true, I do send him secret messages. But
not the ones he's getting.
Not the ones he's getting.
You're not even getting any?
But,
do you still feel that Sal's watching you all the time?
Yeah. It's calmed down a bit, but...
I don't think it has. I think he's just shut up about it.
Yeah, he's not talking about it, stuff that he does.
But Scott, the engineer, I've known for many, many years. He's a very down-to-earth guy. In fact, off the air, he shows tremendous judgment. He sends me a lot of articles and things that I use on the air. I use 90% of the things he sends me.
Is that right?
That's true.
Well, there's a revelation.
Yeah. He sends me a lot of stuff that he picks up on the web. I guess he sits there, when he's not staring at the wall, he's staring at the web. And
Thank God for the web. He used to just stare at the wall.
Yeah. Now he found something to do that's actually useful for the show. So he sends me stuff. And it's very on target, things that we've discussed here on the air. And also, believe it or not, that bald bastard can sit down with you and, have a really decent conversation. There were times one-on-one where I've had some actually interesting conversations.
I wish you would call me in when these things are happening.
Let me tell you something, my dear. I don't sit there long. I'm saying I've put in a good 5-10 seconds on these conversations.
Maybe it's a guy thing, because I like talking to Scott, too.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes Scott can be quite comforting. So if I was going to break down...
I'm a raconteur.
Yeah, sometimes I feel good that Scott's on the team. He's also a talented engineer.
I feel good about that.
So it would be Scott the engineer. But don't get carried away. You're up against Dan the Song Parody Man and Sal Gubernale.
I was already making plans for this weekend.
By the way, you've taken off quite a bit of weight, huh?
Yeah, just about 40 pounds.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, thanks.
You're starting to care about yourself, huh?
I do. Well, you know what? After the weight loss contest, I lost a lot of weight. Then I gained it back because of surgery and some medication.
Oh, yeah, you
did
have surgery.
Like in this past winter, I said, you know what? I feel like crap. I couldn't get around. I was like, huffing and puffing. I'm like, got to do something.
There's something I got to ask you, and I know it's probably a disastrous answer, but whatever happened to that dog you were going to get rid of? I don't hear anything about him.
I love the dog.
Yeah,
dog
you do.
Is fine.
Wow.
We didn't do any surgery yet.
Beth and I were speculating you it. We haven't heard.
That's why you don't hear him mentioning.
Well, remember in Psycho? You remember in Psycho? You know, you never hear about the mother anymore for a while. You know, they had the dog. They wanted to get rid of it, but you still have the dog.
We sell it for dog meat.
Is the dog actually functioning? And
the dog is fine.
Yes.
We just had her to the vet, and he said, no symptoms, don't do anything.
Right.
For now.
Right.
When the symptoms become obvious, she's 2 years old.
Right.
So when they become obvious, we're going to do whatever we have to do.
Are you glad you kept the dog?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, of course.
You're not thrilled, but...
I mean, she's a handful for a golden. She's still a handful.
Right.
She's very, you know, playful, as they like to say.
Well, listen, that's you. You got to train the dog.
We've trained it. We had a trainer come in.
With your dynamic personality, I can't see how you can't train a dog.
I forget, you know, like that night I spent at Scott's house, which still is like one of the greatest experiences of my life.
Yeah.
He had a dog that didn't like him.
Right. Well, no one likes him.
I still have that, though, the little dog.
But anyway, getting back to it, like Sal, I really like Sal, but it would be weird to hang out with him. I mean, he was upset that I didn't invite him to my daughter's bat mitzvah.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, he was so not, that was such an inappropriate thought, even.
Right. And he verbalized that to you?
Yeah, he's verbalized it.
Yeah, he said it on the air once.
He said it on the air, but more to other people around here. Like, that's when I know he's for real.
You forget that he used to fantasize about what he and Howard would do sitting at home with him and Howard and Beth on the couch watching The Bachelor.
And was really irate that we don't invite him to watch Survivor and things like that.
But it wasn't even Sal and his wife and you and Beth.
Right.
It was Sal and you and Beth.
Listen, Sal's very disturbed. I'm not telling you something here that people don't know. I think Sal knows it, too. Sal's a very disturbed guy. He's a talented guy. I love him on my staff. And, you know, under the right circumstances, I'll go out with him and Richard and hang out because they're like a married couple. But I'll tell you the truth. He's got a lot of demons and a lot of issues. And quite frankly, I don't think it would be healthy to hang around with him all
I
that
don't
much.
think so either. I think it would only go bad.
So between those three, Wolfie, Scott's the most healthy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the only reason I thought you might be hesitant about Scott, perhaps he might be counting your money or just
Well, of course, the jealousy. Listen, I'm not having Scott to my house. You asked me out of those three. I mean, I could tell you a million reasons not to have Scott to your house. But out of those three, Scott would be the man.
The lesser of three evils, so to speak.
Poor Scott's so happy. This is the first positive thing that's been said.
He won. This is the first thing he's ever won.
That's right.
Out of three maniacs, he won, and he's happy. All right, you look better, and that shows a sign of health.
Thank you.
You know, you care about your appearance. It's good.
I'm trying.
All right, good for you.
Thanks.
All right. Now go shave
I'm a
your
regular
head.
Johnny Dope.
Yeah.
Johnny Dope.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah, Wolfie.
Two other quick things. I just wanted to let you know that I have my son's 2.5, and I showed him a picture of Gary, the Techno Beaver outfit.
Yes, he liked it.
I think he could have a career as maybe a Sesame Street character because he was obsessed with the thing. He wanted to see if it was a TV show. I sent him a couple clips of him talking about Techno Beaver, so I don't know if you'd ever...
Gary thought I was kidding around. You know, Gary got a shot at talking about technology on Gadget. They called him Gadget Gary on Channel 11. And if you notice, Channel 11's our local channel, WPIX here in New York. It's it's one of the your channels. It's not even with a real network.
It's almost a channel.
It's like a CW11 kind of...
CW is a network.
They're trying to be a network.
They're trying to be... Gary, hardly a network.
I know.
You know, it's not NBC, ABC, or CBS.
It's a shame because...
It's not even Fox.
Channel 11 was the Yankee games growing up, and now...
They don't even have that now.
Right, nothing even close to it.
So I said to Gary, Channel 11's putting them on. Okay, so you think of that as like going to college for free. You'll go on Channel 11... You'll be Gadget Gary. And, it's good experience because, listen, Gary needs to branch out a little bit. Like Ed McMahon was always hustling. Gary's like the Ed McMahon of our show. He's always in the back office trying to figure out
deals?
Being a rodeo clown or how, maybe he can get gored by a bull at a carnival. He's
Run
always
over
looking.
by a truck.
I'll go to Vegas and open up a Rick's Cabaret.
While he's wearing a barrel.
Yeah, always with a barrel. And,
well, he hosts. So there's
he's
times
always,
where he introduces me.
Yeah. By the way, the barrel's a step up from the monkey.
That's right. Like he'll introduce Artie, and then Artie will do 7 hours, and Gary does 3 seconds. They'll go to Iraq, and, Gary will introduce everyone. Yeah. So Gary's always angling to figure out, how do I turn this into gold? So I admire that. So here he gets this shot on CW11, which is the toilet bowl of television stations. Let's be honest. You know what Channel 11 is? They even have their own local news department. I admire that. But when a local news anchor goes to Channel 11, it's over. It's their end of their career.
Where everybody ends their careers here.
It's like where Roland Smith goes after he's had this glorious career on CBS television, and then they don't want him anymore. And then he's got one last stop at Channel 11 before it's off to the old age home.
Yeah, you go to Channel 11.
It's obscurity's waiting room.
It is. You tune in there and you see people in hell. I mean, the anchor people are unhappy. Everyone's unhappy.
Remember Katie Tong? That was her last time.
Katie Tong committed harikari right there at the Channel 11 newsroom.
I think she went...
What was that? I have to put your mic on.
I think Katie Tong might have even done worse. I think she's moved to Channel 9.
Oh, no.
I think I've seen her there.
Channel 9 is better than Channel 11,
no, it's not.
in the pecking order. No?
But I got to tell you, Channel 11 did the funniest thing. It was their either 40th or 50th anniversary last summer. So they did this huge special, and I TiVoed it. And their two biggest things that they were bragging about was in the 70s, they had a lineup of reruns that was unmatched by anybody else. So The Odd Couple, I Dream of Jeannie,
Honeymooners,
all that. And the other thing was, and they interviewed this guy like he had won a Nobel Peace Prize. This is a guy who had come up with the idea for the Yule log on Christmas.
Right.
And that was a huge contribution to the media.
Well, listen, it's a depressed place over there. It's depressing. I worked at Channel 9. Channel 9 and Channel 11 are in the same boat here in New York.
Basically.
And you'd walk through the halls there. There were people ready to commit suicide. I'm not kidding. I mean, it was depressing. I mean, they knew it was the end. It was either, if you were very young, it was the beginning of a career, or it was at the end of the career. There was no in-between. It was always the end. It was basically New York television, but reject television.
Right.
So, Gary got his shot at being this gadget Gary. They're always looking to latch on to something exciting there at Channel 11. And Gary needed experience. So, in a sense, it was a good match. But I watched this thing. If you notice, you don't see Gadget Gary anymore.
Yeah, what happened?
I'll tell you what happened. They burned out on it. Now,
not true.
How do you become... Please.
Not true.
Where have you been? Why haven't you been on for the last couple of weeks?
They wanted me to go on in mid-May.
Go ahead.
And Dirt Sweeps, and I couldn't do it because I actually didn't have enough gadgets. And then they just asked me if I would do it this Friday, which I couldn't, so I'll be doing it. I think I'm back on July 21st. But they've been asking me.
What I'm telling you is if you were Techno Beaver...
They'd have to have you on every week.
They would have you on every week, and they'd find gadgets for you.
I'm not against... Listen, I'm not against the Techno Beaver idea.
Right.
I even have... Jason was kind enough...
Kids love it. You hear what Wolfie's saying. His kid loves Techno
I'm seeing
Beaver.
merchandise. You could have dolls.
Jason was kind enough to find for me, and I still have the website bookmarked, the outfit. Like a beaver outfit.
Get it?
How kind?
But I'm not going to get it if no one's going to use it.
Very thoughtful.
You just said another good thing, beaver bookmarks.
Wasn't that kind of Jason to find a...
How about writing his Techno Beaver?
What a gem that Jason
Techno Beaver doesn't have to just
it's really funny. Nobody seems... like, even the guys at the magazine, the guys at the...
Nobody gets it?
I thought they would have jumped right on it.
Gary, did they get it when I started in radio? Didn't every program director tell me to shut my mouth?
That's true.
Right. Didn't every program director tell me I was way off?
They did.
Right. You think
play more records?
You think people understand the genius that is Techno Beaver? Of course not. This is way out of their realm. Trust me.
You're going to listen to them or Howard.
Right. You stick with me, Gary.
But I can't get anybody to put me on.
Gadget Gary, Techno Beaver. Who am I tuning in for?
But okay, so like the Today Show, like who needs Techno Beaver?
Mommy, Daddy, Techno Beaver's on today.
Techno Beaver is something great. In fact, Channel 11 was founded on, moronic older men dressing up in outfits. If you remember, Captain Jack McCarthy.
Who's the guy that rang 3 bells? Was that him?
3 bells. That was Joey Heatherton's father.
And Officer Joe Bolton.
Merry Mailman. They had the Merry Mailman, Officer Joe Bolton. All these guys were, listen, if it wasn't for those stupid costumes,
they
you wouldn't even
know
they're
cops and mailmen.
No, there were no real cops and mailmen among them.
Was Channel 11 the channel that had Jerry Mahoney? Was that Channel 11?
No, I don't know. Jerry Mahoney originally aired on a network, believe it or not. Nothing original came out of those channels.
Right, that's definitely true.
You should have seen, I'm telling this special, you should have seen them bragging. It was our idea to put on I Dream of Jeannie, and then The Odd Couple, and then The Munsters, and then The Addams Family, all in a row.
Already
you want to know
hits.
something? I'll tell you the truth. Television, let's be honest, has gotten so unoriginal that the U-Log is actually starting to look like a brilliant idea. What's happened to television is unbelievable. I mean, now we see NBC is going to put on Jay Leno for an hour every night. Where the f*** would you have seen that? Television used to be so great.
Yeah, they've run out of ideas.
I think it used to be great right up until, like, when, Seinfeld was the last sort of great big moment in television. People love that show.
Sitcoms have definitely gone down.
Sitcoms have died. People stop writing scripts. You don't see any original. All you see now is these shitty reality shows. Now, I love reality shows, but think about it from a television point of view. It's the laziest television on the planet. When Ryan Seacrest can be a genius in television, you know television's too easy.
He's this generation's Norman Lear.
They go and find some up jackass who wants to be on, first of all, excluding Artie,
Lindsay Lohan.
Any person who wants to be on reality TV, you're a different case. You're in a whole different league.
Well, that's not a definite anyway.
Artie's in it for the money. That's a different story. But what I'm saying, when you can find, first of all, someone's got to be mentally ill to be on reality television. You understand that?
Look at who
aside from
went
Artie.
to Anna Nicole Smith.
Anna Nicole Smith. The more up you are, the better your reality show.
Put sentences together.
You're talking about actually having to pay somebody, like a star name. Jason and I have been watching...
Get a star name. You get Real Housewives of New York, Real Housewives of New Jersey. Listen, they're great for television, but they're very ill people. And network executives, first of all, I mean, you got to look at the big picture.
John and Kate plus 8.
John and Kate plus 8? Look, this guy knocked up this woman with 8 children. They had to get fertility drugs, and now they can't stand each other.
They don't want to be
really can't. It's great TV and all of this.
You should see them on that couch, Howard. Have you seen that?
No. And
talk about uncomfortable. He's sitting facing one wall, and she's looking at him.
The bigger you are as a scumbag, the better you are on reality TV. There's a guy on The Bachelorette now. Forget if you think it's gay or not. The guy's got a girlfriend. He's there to promote his music. He's over this girl, and it's great.
Being blatant about it.
So you got to understand that really TV has become, I mean, let's be honest. Simon Cowell just signed a deal. It's in the paper today. Simon Cowell's no talent. You know that. The only thing he's good is at that stupid American Idol.
I thought he was a record executive.
He's nothing.
He's charismatic.
The fact that, listen, the fact that he, I love him. I love to watch American Idol. He's the whole reason it's a success. But the guy's got zero talent. He isn't Seinfeld, who came up with this brilliant idea. He's not Jackie Gleason, who came up with this great show. He's a guy who sits and tells somebody, he's basically a bore.
You can't sing.
He goes, you're horrible, you can't sing. And he's, Paula Abdul's so mental, she hasn't figured out after 800 seasons on American Idol that if you're negative, you're going to be a big star and you're going to get paid tons of money. I want to help the kids. Yeah, well, we want to help you off this show, you nut job. Randy, same thing. He's sitting and watching Simon Cowell now for 800 seasons, and he can't figure out that if you have an opinion, you can get millions of dollars.
They had to go back to London and find this Piers guy because nobody here figured it out.
Exactly. He can't figure it out. Here's how you're a big star in American Idol. You suck. You're terrible. Go back and figure it out, and come back when you're ready to win. Kid, give me ka-ching, $10 million. The TV now is filled with such no talents and bores. It's gotten so simple.
Sanjaya was one of the greatest things on this.
Listen, celebrity, get me out of here. Stephen Baldwin's a genius again. He sits there, walks around with his shirt off with bad tattoos. I mean, it's filled with mediocrity.
Just completely eaten by bugs and a faux hawk.
I mean, a guy who can't figure out that he's gay. He claims he's not gay, and God bless him. But believe me, if he ain't gay, then I'm not male. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't figure out what this up to. And I don't want to figure out what he's up to. He should be in college somewhere trying to figure out what to do with his life.
No, he's in the jungle.
It has gotten so bad. Look, you even look at late night television. Look at what is going on. Forget about, don't look at it as Conan versus Jay Leno.